But we do move on. Bellator has another show this week. This is in Mulvane, Kansas at the Kansas Star Casino. And it's a big one as Emmanuel Newton fights Linton Vassell for the light heavyweight championship.
Yeah, coming back to the same venue where he first won the title.
So that's, it's a full circle event here, I guess you could say. And, it's one of those things where Newton, I think he really loves fighting in Kansas City. Or in Kansas, I should say.
Yeah, not Kansas City. Actually pretty far from Kansas City.
But why is it called,
It's called the Kansas Star Arena, but that doesn't mean it has anything to do with Kansas City at all.
No. But maybe he just loves fighting in that state.
All I can say is it's like the same thing when people are talking about stuff going on in Wichita, and they're like, oh yeah, there's going to be competition for the Royals. I'm like, okay, I understand they're both in Kansas, but Wichita and Kansas City, one market's really not going to affect the other that much.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about this semi-main event, because it has a big name in it.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley is returning to fight again in Bellator's heavyweight division, and he's got a good record overall. He is 11-2, but his opponent, Carl Etherington, is undefeated at 9-0. So, for anybody that's ever said that Bobby Lashley is only taking fights with tomato cans and he's not getting the tough competition, can't say that here because Etherington is the king of first rounders. 9 fights, 9 first round finishes.
Now, I say big name here. If you're a hardcore fan, you would think Etherington, but if you're a casual fan, the big name here obviously is Lashley.
Yeah, well, if you're a hardcore Bellator fan, the big fight is actually Dave Jansen and Rick Hahn because both of these guys have won a tournament, and you could feel like looking at the two of them, whoever wins this fight probably goes on to face the winner of Chandler versus Brooks.
Ooh. Nice.
They haven't said that. They haven't gone out and gone on the record with that. But I strongly suspect this is a number one contenders fight.
All right. And just rounding off the main card, Annalisa Bucci fights Marlis Conan.
Yeah, Conan, the former Strikeforce Bantamweight champion and longtime veteran on women's MMA, long before it was on the radar. She won her title before Ronda Rousey even had her first fight, if that tells you anything. So Conan's been around and back again, but still young enough to have a lot of time left in the sport, and I feel like Annalisa Bucci is a little overmatched here. She's 7-3 in MMA, mostly a kickboxer, and probably not ready for what Marlis Conan's going to show her.
Now, as far as the prelims, there is one fight that catches my eye, and that is Davy Ramos against David Rickles.
Yep, the caveman. And of course, he fought in Mulvane the last time, and I was there for that fight, and he was very, very popular in Kansas. He has a big following there, so they're probably just happy to have him on the card anywhere, but I guess that just shows what happens when you lose in the bright lights on Spike TV the way he did. You get bumped down to the prelims.
Now we move on to UFC 170.
Oh, no, wait. Don't move on so fast. I thought you were going to talk about Sam Oropeza when you said you wanted to talk about the prelims.
No, that was the one fight was the caveman.
Oropeza.
Go ahead.
Honestly, that's the one that stands out to me because Oropeza has basically been undefeated for a while now. He's going back to 2012, 6 straight wins, and his last one was pretty big. He beat Cristiano Souza. So, I would say keep an eye on the Oropeza fight on the prelims if you're watching.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, for Bellator fans, I'm looking forward to the Caveman's fight, but I'm surprised he's on the prelims. I think the position where it is on the card, I don't know. Do you think, going back to the Caveman, do you think we'll ever see him get back to the upper echelon of Bellator, or do you think he's a gatekeeper at this point? I
think if he puts a few wins together, anything is possible. He's fun, he's popular, he's got a very good entrance that people get into, and a guy like that, it only takes a few wins in a row before he'll be a featured fighter again.
Well, I don't know. I find him very entertaining. So when it comes to mixed martial arts, especially the UFCs and the Bellators of the world, the entertaining fighters, the one who can talk more smack, I find they're getting more attention, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, that's what Todd's talking about when he says, Conor McGregor and Chael Sonnen talk their way into fights, and David Rickles, he can certainly do that at any time. So give him a quality win and get bonused on the TV if it's really fast, and he'll be right back up there in no time flat.